Hi, this is Melody. I hope all of you are doing awesome. Today I'm going to do a story, and this is sort of a requested story because someone requested to do a Indian folk story, and this story I heard from my grandma. So my grandma, while feeding us, always used to tell us stories. She always said that death cannot come to us unless we invite. So death is something, and back in the days it was believed that death is a god called Yamraj, the god of death. Now, God of Death also has his rules, the rules set by God, and these rules are from the hierarchy. Rules are set that a person has to make a death wish, and then the death will come and take them. Death cannot just come and pick up a healthy person and say, "Okay, I'm take you today." A person has to make a wish either directly or indirectly. So how does this work? Like directly, people make a wish, like somebody is very sick, very ill, suffering for a long time, and they don't want to continue in their life, so they will make a wish that, okay, I really don't want to continue anymore, so just come and take me. And then indirectly, how people make it happen by not being at all interested in life or doing work or doing anything or celebrating anything, just passing the days and waiting for the death to take them. So there's two ways to do it. And then there's third ways, when people does like bad karma and does something harm to people, and those people curse them, like saying, "I hope you die," things like that. So then the death god evaluates, is it necessary to take this person because others wish like that? Is the wish is legit? So they also have some rules, regulation, principles. Now, coming back to the story, so there was an old lady, and she lived in a village. She lived on her own, and this lady, well, at the time of the story, she lived on her own. Probably she had families and which passed away, so she was left alone. Now she had couple of cows and couple of chicken, couple of goat, and she had a little garden where she worked and grew her own food. She had her home. So pretty much from morning 4 a.m. till night, till it was dark, she was busy, because back in the days, years back, when grandma learned the story from her grandma. So that time, there was no electricity probably, or maybe that village didn't have electricity, or maybe she couldn't afford. Either way, the cutoff time for all work was when it was dark. So they would do their work in the daylight, and then nighttime they will have a candle to just do few basic things like wrap up things and finish their meal and quickly hit the bed. And they used to sleep by 7 or 8, and they used to wake up by 4 or 5 as soon as the daylight hits. They wake up to utilize the entire day light given by God. So she used everything natural. She was so morning. Her day started 4 a.m. in the morning. She'll get up, clean up her home, and then she will go feed the chicken, and then she'll take the goats out for feeding, cow out for feeding. Then she'll work in the garden to grow food and pick up whatever grown, and then after she brings all these, and she'll cook those, and then she will take her vegetable to the market, whatever leftover she couldn't eat, and then she'll get money, and from that money she bought her grain and her clothes and whatever things she needed to buy to get by. And then after that, she will stop by in a temple, and then she will do offerings to God before coming home, do prayer, and then she will come home, and she had to then feed the chickens, bring them home, feed the cows and the goats, bring them home, and then get extra food for them from the field so that they can munch on it at night, and then getting everybody in their cage and in their little living space. Then her work finished. She had to finish the work quickly before dark, because dark she couldn't do anything. And then she had to get into her little tiny little cottage and just sleep. And inside her cottage there was a little space made where she kept the chickens, her two chickens, in a cage. And then she kept her goat in the same room in a little area tied up, but her cows used to be outside in another little room, which was covered too, because she didn't want the fox to come and take the cows. So she had two cows, two goats, and two chickens, but she made sure, and she had two rooms, so she made sure everybody was secure in those rooms before dark, so she could sleep peacefully without worrying. And she used to have a big fire going outside the house, so no wild animal can come near it. And this was her day. Now, one day, Death of God looked through his paper and he saw that, wow, the old lady in that village passed her time for coming up here. I mean, she's way past. And when the Death of God saw this paper, that time the old lady was 106 and still working. So he said, okay, she was supposed to die by 90, and this is 106, means I have given her so much extra time. So he came down. A lady was working in the field, and the other God came in front of her and said, okay, lady, you need to come with me, because all the gods are pestering that you are supposed to be dead at 90, and now you're 106 and still working like this. So what is it you're taking? What's the medicine? So she said, Death of God asked, don't you have any pains or anything, any kind of diseases in your body? Then she said, well, I have a lot of herbs and spices I grow. I take them, and if I have some serious pain in any parts of the body, I just slap it and it goes away. So she used the slapping therapy, which I saw few years back online. Also, I saw it was some I think it was Chinese person, Chang Du. I don't know. I couldn't say the name. Hung or something, Chang or Hung, and he was using. So that's the same slapping therapy that lady was using. So she'll slap body parts and tap, slap, and she used her herbs. And all day she was active. So there was no time that she was lazing around, and that was a time when there was no electronics, no TV, nothing. People didn't sit down. There was no computer. People just worked hard, and at night they slept and they ate basic food, what was really food. No chemicals, no fake food, nothing, no plastic. So she said that, and he's like, okay, this is not right because you have lived too much. Okay, she said, all right, I'll come with you. Now let me finish my work, because as you see, I'm up from 4 a.m. in the morning, and if you want to take me, what is it that you need? And he said, well, I need for you to be unhappy, unhealthy, and laying in bed, and you need to do these things for me, for for me, so that I can take you. She said, well, you're gonna have to wait, because I got things to do and I cannot slow down, because there are a lot of things depends on me. My chicken depends on me to give them the grains they eat, and I have to let them free in the field so they can roam around, run around. Now, after they do that, they lay eggs, and I take those eggs for me to eat. So I gotta collect those eggs. And then my cows, I gotta go take them to the field, feed them, and then I have to take out the milk because they give me milk. So I have to milk them. And then I have to take my goats to the field, and I also milk the goats and I drink the milk. So I get my egg from chicken, I get my milk from cows, and I get my milk from my goats. So I drink those, and I have lots of vegetable and fruits in my garden which I need to pick up, because if I don't pick up, they will not give fruits and vegetable tomorrow, because they will think I don't need them, so they will stop giving. So I need to pick all of them up as needs to be picked up. But to make the process faster, you can help me. And he was like, okay, I'll help you. So he started helping the old lady, and she's doing all these things. And after that, she took him to the market, and they sold those things, and they made good money selling them. And then she took that money and went to the temple, bought food in the road, and then she provide those for the God. And then she take those food and provide for all the beggars and homeless people on the street, gave everybody food. So she said, all these people waits for me daily, so I need to, the money I'll make, I will keep half of the money for my need for rainy days, and I'll give the half to other people's food. So she'll buy food and give everybody. So you have to help me. So he helped her. And then he also helped her to bring the cows, the goat, the chicken, everybody feeding at nighttime, give them water, bring them in, tie them down, put them in the cage, everything finished. And it was almost 8 o'clock at night. And then she lay down in bed, and then Death of God was so exhausted sitting next to her, like, how can you do all this? And then he said, well, now, do you have any pain? I mean, do you have any sadness? I need to have this thing. I need you to be sad and sick, and you need to make that wish. And she's like, well, I got a little bit pain in my body. Now it's time for me to slap the body. I'm going to be slapping every part. You can help me slapping. And he started slapping, and she's like, okay, go a little harder, okay? The pain's not going to go away like that. So he slapped her, tapped her. And after that, before she fall asleep, he was so exhausted, he fall asleep on the floor snoring. Then she covered him up with her blankets and everything, what she had, extra blanket. And then after that, after the slapping, she took warm oil she used to make in her home, mustard oil with garlic. She boiled that and kept it, and she massaged that whole thing in her body. And she said to the Death of God, do you need some slapping and massaging? He said, all right, I'm so tired, go ahead, do whatever you want. And she slapped him good and then massaged and tapped his body. And he did not wake up till next day 10 a.m. When he woke up at 10 a.m., she was up at 4 a.m. with full swing, all her work happened. He came running to the field and he said, what is wrong with you? I will lose my job. You need to come with me. You need to lay down in bed. You need to be sad. You need to be sick. You need to be unhealthy. And you need to make that death wish. What is wrong? She said, okay, now help me today. I'll do it tomorrow or at night time. But I don't have, you see, all these things depending on me. I cannot leave these things hungry. I have to feed the chicken. He did that over again. 5 days passed, and every day passing, he wakes up later and later. One day he woke up 5 p.m. because he was so exhausted, and she slapped him so much and then oil massage that he just took a rest. Then 5 p.m. she was bringing the animals. She has done all her work. And she's like, what is wrong with you? You should have been up early morning helping me. Why are you sleeping so late? So then he said, okay, my days are done here. I don't think you're going to be dying soon, because first, you don't lay down in bed. Second, you don't get sick. Third, you're not even sorry that you're alive. And fourthly, you just don't have time to die. So So you're not making the death wish. So I guess I'm gonna have to come back 106 years later. So he went away, and she's like, "Okay, be careful now. Get somebody to slap you and massage you at night. Just tap out your body, or tap your body when you wake up. So wake up the entire body system." And he said, "Oh, don't forget to do those yoga breathings I taught you." And he's like, "Okay, okay. I don't know how I'm gonna explain this to God that." She grows her food all day. She works in the field, eats natural food. Then she massage her body, tap her body. Morning she does yoga, meditation, tap her body, and wakes up 5 in the morning doing her work. And she helps out all the poor, needy people. Doesn't have any evilness or jealousy. No enemy in this world. I don't know how I'm gonna explain to the God that she'll never coming. She's never coming. Okay, just go ahead. And then the death of God gave her the blessing. Okay, go ahead, live forever. And he was gone. She continued her job. And she probably lived forever. So that was the story. And this story just was the story I stored in my heart all my life. Was the story was such a good story. I felt like there is nothing better than this story. The person who lived so long because of what she did. It was a wonderful story. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you with many, many more. Bye bye.